find that there are broad 15 issues on which members have spoken, raising concerns, sometimes asking for greater information to be shared. However, of course, raising also issues which I'll try to address. I'm indeed grateful that members have taken great details from the budget and in the context of today's economy spoken about them. So this budget was presented, as I said during the presentation of the budget itself, was presented with the background that India was coming out of the pandemic and there was a path of recovery that we could distinctly observe, not just by us, but also by very many observers of the Indian economy post the pandemic. But of course, sooner, we also had the Russia-Ukraine war, which commenced from 22 February. And there was, as a result, distinct inflationary pressures, particularly on the emerging markets, and it was globally felt. Also, the resurgence of COVID in China has also added a dimension which we couldn't have anticipated. So that led to the rise in international commodity prices. Also, the vagaries of weather, extreme weather conditions, also triggered off food inflation, not just in India, but in very many other countries. So, more than what the monsoon vagaries bring to India almost every year since recorded history, we had other external vagaries also affecting us, particularly in the food area. Several preemptive measures were taken up by the government, and also the monetary policy decisions by the RBI had led to a sequence of measures being taken. And therefore, by November, December of 2022, we were able to return to the realm of the tolerance band which the RBI defines. And therefore, the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, came down to the below 6% level and therefore was within the tolerance band. Despite all this, sir, the Indian economy is still the fastest growing major economy and shall continue to be so even in 23-24. So since the pandemic, when the economy dipped by -23, our efforts to recover the economy has been through the CAPEX route, capital expenditure route from the government side. And this, because it has great multiplier effect, enables to have in situ jobs created where the projects of the public expenditure are being spent and the projects are being made to rise. So that immediately in situ creates a lot of jobs and therefore triggers better income and therefore triggers better consumption. This is a well-established route in terms of multiplier for capital expenditure, as different from the route which is asserted by economists when you give money in the hands of the people, where the multiplier is far lesser than a rupee spent, is far lesser than that rupee spent. The next very important line is also enhancing the productive capacities in the economy so that we can spur and sustain domestic demand. Third is also an approach which is comprehensive, looking at social security. I already explained the inflation management. So these four major routes and activities have actually kept the economy in a sustained growth path. So in a way, if I have to put in a few words what this budget of 2023-24 is, it actually, in a way, if I can say, astutely balances the requirement for India's development imperatives within the limits of fiscal prudence. So that is a very difficult balance. I'm sure most of us who are speaking on the Indian economy and the budget would observe that it is a very, very tight, measure. It's a very delicately balanced act, and that's what has been achieved in 2023-24 budget, without compromising on India's growth potential and sustaining the growth momentum. We also have made sure that fiscal prudence is maintained as per the glide path we had given to